I was wrong about Drake Maye. I was. I think a lot of us were wrong about Drake Maye. Some people were very, very high on him though, but without not without criticism. So first of all, we usually do this with a couple players throughout the year because nobody's perfect in this. And when people want to act like they're perfect in predicting this, you're just putting your foot in your mouth. But also you have to be aware of when you can be wrong about things too. And like my dad called me today, right? He was like, I've been watching Drake Maye, man. The first person I thought of was you because he's been lighting it up. So even my dad pays attention, and yeah, it's always cool to see these guys that you weren't so high on do so well. I get excited about the process because I get to go back and say, man, where was I wrong at? And I get excited about I get to go back and watch Drake Maye's film in college a little bit more, and then kind of refine my process. So every year is going to get better. Every year you have to reevaluate these things. So that's, first of all, why I'm excited about being wrong and why everybody else should be excited. And for those that throw stones at you being wrong, they can't sit there and act like they weren't wrong themselves about a couple of things. But at least we can go back and reevaluate and get better from it. Before the draft started last year, I thought that he was going to be a perennial bust. Like I thought that he had the most bust potential, but then I had some reservations. Like if you go back and watch the video of his pro day, I was actually pretty impressed by his pro day. Out of all the guys that were out there, except for I thought Caleb Williams' pro day was pretty excellent too. But he was one where I was like, wait a second, he has some fairly good throws today. What is going on? And maybe it was just North Carolina, maybe the system, but also there were things where, I looked at guys like Omarion Hampton, who started to turn up this year and ended up getting hurt. But I thought Omarion Hampton, especially in that last year, kind of carried some of those games for them. And so I got a little concerned about that. But the biggest concern that I had, and I wish Dana was here, and Dana, if you're in the chat, let me know, because me and her we're on the same wavelength when it came to this. He just didn't throw receivers open consistently and consistently threw them in the situations that they couldn't get themselves out of. Now, I'm not a big fan of everybody saying, oh, he's throwing hospital balls. Go back and watch Peyton Manning throw it to Austin Collie back in the day. I'm just saying, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens and you can't prevent that, and the next play is getting the first down. But from what I can see right now, the precision of his passes are absolutely immaculate and incredible this year. Like some of the best passes that you will see in a game, and really have my eyebrows raising a lot of the times, and elevate and able to elevate guys like Kayshon Boutte to being like actually legit weapons, which takes a special skill that we haven't seen out of quarterbacks often, kind of like Tom Brady. But we're not going to get into that talk just yet. I see Dana in the chat. She said he has improved his ability to throw backside, which was a major deficiency. Bingo. I'm happy to see him utilize the whole field as well. But before I get into some of the things that I found were like some really cool statistics. I mean, when I put this topic on there, you're like, "There's some excellent topics this week." But what did you feel about Drake Maye, and how are you seeing his performances so far?
Well, I got a few stats as well. Being selected the third pick overall in 2024, I thought that was nothing but a reach for a project at the time. I mean, I figured it was going to definitely be a project. Why are you taking a project that early? I know the Patriots wanted a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, his ball placement, his decision making, including the number of sacks he took, all that needed improvement. And I was like, wow, he is going to be a project for a while. And in his rookie season, he actually played a little bit better overall than I expected, even though he was sacked 34 times. I mean, he threw for 2,276 yards, had a 66.6% completion ratio, had 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But then in the off season, we kind of saw what the Patriots were doing with their draft and with other players that they brought in through free agency, and you could see they were trying to help Drake. And now, wow, after 7 games, they're 5-2, they're leading the division. He's thrown for 1,744 yards, and get this, a 75.2% completion ratio. That is ridiculously good. 12 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He has been sacked 22 times, which is tied for the second most in the league. But, these are the stats that are worthy of the 3rd pick in the draft from 2024. Not the project I had anticipated. So maybe not the same level, but I was wrong about Drake Maye as well.
Yeah. Last year, were his numbers impressive? I guess so. Still throwing 10 interceptions, like you said, and being sacked 34 times. But
right.
But the thing is like those games still didn't look fantastic, and that's why I was like, my goodness. A lot of people thought like, oh, Drake Maye's going to be really good based off of his film last year. And I'm like, his film wasn't all that great. Whenever you have a year where people are like, why did we trade Joe Milton? That still begs the question now of how people felt about Drake Maye last year. Again, the best thing that could have happened last year for them, and what I said going into the season, is to sit him as long as possible behind a guy like 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝘀𝘀. And they did that. And it worked out for him because this year he not only is under a good head coach like Mike Vrabel.
Oh, yeah.
Jerod Mayo, this was his first year head coaching, and he was handpicked. Yep. And it just didn't work out. Now we're talking about a guy like Mike Vrabel who had the number 1 seed in the AFC with a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill. Where's Ryan Tannehill right now? I like Ryan Tannehill. I'm not gonna sit up here and BS anybody. I didn't think he was as bad as a quarterback as what everybody said, but we kind of got to put this aside. Like, Ryan Tannehill is not an all-star quarterback. And we're seeing all-star potential out of Drake Maye. Again, I had this conversation with a Raiders fan the other day. They said, what do you think is going on with our team? Because we beat New England week 1. And I said, you kind of have to scratch that game out of your memory because the whole coaching staff was changed. The whole dynamic of that team completely changed. And Drake Maye is feeling very, very confident with a guy like Mike Vrabel because Mike knows not only did Jerod Mayo play there, but Mike knows not only how to coach really well, he knows how to bring that dominance of the Patriots back as well. And that was a crazy combination to go into. And so you guys were the Raiders, when I say you guys, the Raiders were going into a game where they were just fine tuning who they were.
Right.
Which didn't make the Raiders seem better than they actually were. And in return, a lot of people were like, oh, the Raiders, okay, we're starting to see the turnstile. and in regards to that, they became the turnstile for a lot of teams this season. And the Patriots have actually been the opposite, have become a tough matchup for a lot of different teams. Look, I'm proud of the fact that I had the Patriots as the number 1 team.
You did.
And a lot of people are like, what? And now people are questioning Buffalo. If Buffalo loses this weekend, I think we're really going to have to reevaluate that. But just how I felt about the 49ers and the Patriots, I felt that the 49ers coaching staff was going to keep them afloat and the depth was there to be able to move them forward. And it shows right now. And I felt the same way about the Patriots. Regardless if the guys that they picked up weren't going to work out, I believe Mike Vrabel had depth on that team to be able to push them forward. Now, the depth came at the hands of having a 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝘀𝘀 that's playing out of his mind. And the rest of those guys, like a Ramondre Stevenson. Like, Don, you know me. I'm a Ramondre Stevenson guy. And I'm like, he just needs the right coach.
Yeah.
And they drafted a guy just in case he was not going to be the guy, Travion Henderson.
Yep.
I'm not saying that they're the most efficient team, but they play together like a cohesive unit. And Drake Maye puts the ball in places that are great. He's got a 75.2 completion percentage right now.
Yeah.
His QBR is fourth among qualified quarterbacks. The advanced analytics say this: air yards, 1,135. Deep ball attempts, 20 plus yards, are 59. Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
59 right now. So he's throwing the ball downfield. His clean pocket rating, 113.4. But when he's under pressure, it's 58.4. But on the other side of that, when he's under pressure, what does Drake Maye do? Most of the time, he's using his legs. And I think that's where a lot of people, they're not really considering. His passer rating against the blitz, though, 120, which is very strong versus 74 from his previous year. And he's releasing the ball under 2.5 seconds. He had a passer rating of 119.9 when holding. When holding the ball, he's at 2.5 plus seconds, rating 83.7, which is lagging behind. So, Drake, by all regards, from the advanced analytics, has improved from where he was last year. He's very precise this year, and he's playing like a true pro. And he's, most of all, I like seeing the fact that they give the game ball to like Mike Vrabel and things like that.
That was awesome.
To me, that's just telling you right there that he's got that whole team clicking. Then another thing to put on top of that, whenever you're missing Christian Gonzalez for a couple of games, it does make that defense. Another guy who I was wrong about. Well, I got to be wrong about the two Patriots dudes. But again, I love being wrong about players because even I'm the quarterback guy and I get things wrong, right? But Drake Maye was it was him and I don't want to say JJ McCarthy because I just never saw it with JJ. But I think I watched more Drake Maye film that year than anybody. And I was trying to figure out the puzzle of what people liked. And I didn't say he was complete trash. I just thought he had the most bust potential. But I could see some of the things that he did well. But obviously I was super wrong about that because I didn't even have him ranked in my top 5. So, hey, love being wrong about these guys, man, because it helps me sharpen that pencil a little further. And I want to see this continued success because obviously I had them at number 1. I just, like I told you guys at the beginning of the season, we just need Drake Maye just to be okay. And if he's okay, the rest of the team could carry him. But what's even more dangerous is the team is good and he's not carrying them. He's adding a lot to their success. Yep. Could they make the Super Bowl, Don, with the way that they're paying, the way that they're playing?
They could definitely get there. They definitely have a shot at getting there. Yeah, I'll say that.
If I see what I saw last week out of them, there's not a lot of. I can see the Colts and them playing in the playoffs, and that'd be a hell of a game.
Yep.
Which is crazy because Colts and Patriots.
Yeah.
Is that rivalry coming back? Who knows?